Listen, you're 19, you're fresh out of school, you run a viral YouTube channel. No, wait, go back. You're born in Australia, then an accident happened. Then all of a sudden you're in Singapore. Then you're 10, you move back to Australia. You got no siblings, so you look around, you see everyone else looks like they belong somewhere. You barely speak English, you get older, you start realizing that you don't feel the same way everyone else does. You go through moments of euphoria. Followed by moments of deep depression. But two things that saved you were movies and games. You escaped through them. Hours and hours of Metal Gear Solid, Final Fantasy. You start learning about films and directors. You start wanting to be the next Tarantino, Scorsese. Now go back. Now you're 19, fresh out of school, you start hanging around. You're still immature, you still don't know who you are or why you are the way you are. When things hurt, they really hurt you. You have no control on your emotions or thoughts. You start filming things. You were one of the first in the city to do it. You start a YouTube channel goes viral. Not because you were good, but because you were first. And it feels like everything you touch turns to gold. Anything you post, get numbers. All of a sudden, from being alone, everyone wants to be your friend. You start feeling a bit arrogant. You feel like you're in a euphoria. Things are good. You get to travel, to film music videos. Everywhere you go, people wanted to know you. Then you hit your first heartbreak. You enter a deep depression. You've been clean your whole adult life. Then you start doing what everyone else is doing. Then you did a little too much. You don't want to be you anymore, so you stop creating. You think it's going to be there for you. 6 years you stopped creating, and you start to look for yourself. Are you this guy? I got active, maybe too active. I got into collecting, maybe too much. You start realizing that you're showing symptoms. You start realizing that you're showing symptoms of what your parents had. You throw tantrums. You bully the people around you the way you felt like you were being bullied. You hurt yourself. You got into the habit of hitting yourself. Everything hurts you. You want it to not exist. You work through it. You start finding ways to regulate those feelings. You recover. Longer than most people would take, but that's okay. You think it's time to make a comeback. You quickly realize that things aren't the same. You were first, but now there's many yous. Even better yous. Videographers came and improved the game you left behind. No one remembers you. The game you left you behind. You go into another deep depression. You start a new business. It's doing well now. It's in the same path, but a different lane of what you were doing before. You try new things, you're still searching, but at least you're creating again. And even throughout this new path, you have moments of euphoria. Your arrogance comes back, and you think you're the best. And then you have moments of great depression, where nothing you do is good enough. And then you remember, you had a secondary love. You didn't do it too much. But you did it, you took photos. So you started getting back into it. And maybe you got into it a bit too much. Some of the type of photos you love to do put some people off. Some people stop supporting you. And that's okay. Where do you go from here? I don't think knowing exactly where you're going from here matters. So you found your process. You're enjoying things again. I get to choose where I go from here. And if anything, that's always the right path.